Welcome to the Enterprising Conversations. I'm your channel host Rendani, and this is your Small Business Watchtower. Now I'm back on the blast with the main conversation, the balance sheet. We are going to take our building blocks and start building the house now, brick by brick. No textbook, no formats. I'm building the balance sheet with you. The balance sheet that you're going to look at is the balance sheet that you would have built yourself together with me. We are collaborating. It's a partnership. So I'm going to use my photographer here. Is a very enterprising lady. She's a startup baker. She's doing a backyard business. She's baking on a small scale. She's testing the market. She's testing her skills. Now I want to use her. Even yourself, you can answer me there so that you are part of the conversation. I want to ask her questions so that we can work on the balance sheet. Using the building blocks, we agreed that there are uses of money and there are sources of money. Let me say sources on this side. Now we want to help her come up with a budget for the things that she'll need to run a business. What do you need in order to run a bakery? Tell me about the things that you use. To think about baking, you want to bake something. What are you going to use?
Oven, gas oven.
Let's say gas oven. It's very handy because it's quick and no load shedding. Let's now assume that a gas oven sells for 10,000 rands. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll call our photographer, our entrepreneur, Sue. Sue is going to give us the things that we need. Now, tell me, what else do you need in order to bake?
I need a place.
A place, yes. Let's say business premises. And then let me just say land and building. Business premises, thank you very much for that. Suppose she's got a small plot that she's going to buy a place and build a small factory there for 100,000 rands.
I need a transport.
She needs transport, so you need a car.
Yes.
A small van. Okay, she needs van. And your gas oven, it's your equipment, don't forget it. Let's say she's going to buy a very good second-hand car for 85,000. Now, yes, let's say this is all she's going to ever need in terms of this. We will come back to that. What else do you need to bake in order to bake?
I need a mixture.
A mixer.
Mixer.
So let's say mixer for 50,000 rands. Okay, I'll suggest that we stop at this just for example. I know you may need a prover, you may need a lot of things, pens, and let's come to other things now. Use this, what you can use money. She will need, obviously, ingredients, material stock, ingredients, the flour, the what? Baking powder, the yeast, all those kind of things in order. Suppose she buys in bulk because she's very clever. She wants to make sure that she avoids going back and forth, spending too much money. And remember, she will now need to, there are some customers that, as she is selling, some customers that might want to place orders and pay later on. Those, maybe your business-to-business customers who uses the 30-day to pay, who have got an account with you and they buy and they pay you within 30 days. So that will be, we'll call them debtors. Debtors say she needs to, yes, she needs to finance this. Remember, she's going to have to take some of the stock here, make the cakes or whatever they are buying, supply them and wait for them to pay within 30 days. And the money that she did not spend will remain in the business. Say she's remaining with 15,000. A good business doesn't spend up everything that they need. Now, I want us to calculate how much. Let's say she's going, remember, this is some form of budget. Let's calculate how much is it going to be. 185 plus 15, 200,000. And then 210, 215, 220.
30.
220, ne?
30.
Okay, we said 200 here.
Yes.
Yes, you're right, 230. Thank you. You are our entrepreneur is wide awake, and I love that. This means that somehow she's got, this is a budget that she needs. This is like your working capital. She needs money to use, money that she's going to work with. This is what she needs to invest in the business. Now, we talked about uses and sources of money. Before she can use this money, she has to find it somewhere. She has to raise the money. So, let's start. We said sources of money were?
Bank loans.
Yeah, bank loans, but I want to start with the other one important.
My own contribution.
Yes, that is like the most important one. There's nothing wrong with bank loan, but it has to start with yourself. And realistically, banks will never invest or fund a business that has not yet proven itself. It's very rare. They want you to start with your own money. Once you're strong, you're running, they can come in. Because you've got a track record, you've got some transactions to show them. Now, own money, own contribution or savings. Let's say she contributes let's say she contributes 50,000. She has got good savings and she has contributed that much. But now she goes loan, and let me say maybe it's family. The family, she manages to raise another 50,000 from family members. And then let's say she had some asset and a very good credit record. She managed to get some mortgage loan for the building of 70,000. Now go with me. Let's say now, how else can she? So how much would you? Yeah, I'm happy with everything. We're coming up fine. Now let's say she bought some of her stock on credit. She has got creditors. Remember, she sells on credit to her clients, and then she's got debtors. But here she's got creditors who bought an account, and it's 30,000 rands, that account. And now, let's say she is doing very well, she's working just fine. And she's got an overdraft at the bank of 30,000 rands. The bank allowed her to raise 30,000 rands. So here we are, how much? 170 to 30,000. Oh, come on, 230,000. Are we together?
Yes.
Our entrepreneur, Sue, you are happy?
Yes, I'm happy.
And she can follow everything, because here simplicity is the key. We are not here to confuse. We want to keep it simple, basic. So if you can check here, let's come back to our uses, the things that our uses uses of money. We said there is sources and uses of money. Ne? Money comes in, money goes out. Now, before I forget here, this own contribution, okay? I'll come back to it. Don't forget, these now, the uses, we can call them assets. Now, you see, now that we understand, using plain language, we can bring in the terminology. And the sources, we can call them liabilities. Let me say liabilities. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes, I'm happy, super happy. Now we have learned new terminology, assets and liabilities. In the previous module, we talked about them. Now we are applying that knowledge. And we agreed that they are long-term liabilities or long-term sources, né? And short-term. Short-term, let me say short-term. Same here, né? We have got long-term assets, meaning things that we have bought to come and help us to run the business, that will remain in the business for more than a year and more. 20 years, like you're building, you can go for 50 and even 100, some of them. And similarly, we will have those things that we buy in the business, we spend money on. Money goes out. It goes out to do what? To buy things that will keep for a very long time, more than 1 year. And it also goes out to buy things that will keep for a short time, within 12 months. Thank you very much. Like your stock, your ingredients, they come in, you bake, they go, you need to buy some more. Your debtors, they come and buy, you give them the stock, they pay you, and then the cycle continues. Now, this is how far we have gone now, and it is getting very, very, very interesting.
I think you should write the short-term liabilities. That's
It's fine, it's fine. It's fine. It's short-term liabilities. I've just written liabilities for everything.
Okay.
Yeah, for the sake of space, it's okay. We can even note them. It's okay. Sake of space, like the short-term liabilities is fine. Now, thank you for that. It shows that our startup entrepreneur is an active listener. If we look at our long-term liabilities, the total here, 170, are you with me?
Yes.
170. And our short-term liabilities, how much are they?
60.
60,000 rands. And 170 plus 60 to date. And then our long-term assets here.
Short-term assets.
Yeah, long-term assets here, let's add them up. 185 plus. Did you add up right here? Let's see. 85 plus 100, 185.
Plus 15.
Plus, it's not 15, we made a mistake. Plus 10.
95.
10, 95.
Plus 5.
Plus,
mixture
this is 185, this is 195, plus 50.
No, it must be
195 plus 50, it will be 240, né? We overspent. Let's take out this mixer. Are you with me?
Yes.
As it was. Yeah, because here it was 50. I think it was a mistake, the way I wrote it. It can't be 50 mixer. So we will have 185, né?
190.
190, 200. Yeah, 200,000. Just add them up. It's 85 plus 5.
Yes.
90 plus 10, 100.
Right.
100 plus 100, 200,000. Now here, our short-term assets or things that we bought that will remain in the business for a short period, they are 30,000. Yes, this is the situation.
Yes.
What you will see now is that your long-term sources of finance and your sources of finance are equal to uses. Your liabilities are equal to your assets. Why? It is simple. You can't use more money than you have. For example, if I'm going into a supermarket, I've got 10,000 in my pocket. I go into a supermarket, I spend that money, all of it. When you check my groceries, my slip, how much must it give me?
The same money that I...
The same money that I went into the shop with. If I come out with 12,000 or 15,000, the slip reads 15,000, what could have happened?
Maybe they might have given you a credit.
Yes, brilliant answer. That's what I'm looking for. Brilliant answer. I could have bought on credit of 5,000. Maybe I saw a plasma TV, I saw some gadgets, a very nice cell phone there, including my groceries. I buy up to 15,000 plus a credit facility of 5,000. So you can't spend money
that you don't have.
Money that you don't have. So this conversation so far is telling us that what we have come up with is something that is showing us how money for running this business came from, where the money came from, and how the money was used. The sources of money and the application of money. If you look at it, there is an internal source of money, the own contribution that the entrepreneur has made. And there are external sources of funds where she borrowed money, and there are long-term and short-term. Now, here, you will appreciate that the same goes. Money has been spent on things that will stay in the business for a very long time, like your vehicle, your delivery van. If we're talking in terms of official record keeping, your 4 years, that's the lifespan, the life of the vehicle, about 4 years. Not that you throw it away. It might be out of the books, but it will still be running. If you are those businesses that are professional, they will sell it off and invest in your own business so that they don't have as many breakdowns as possible. So if you look at this, this is like your simplified statement of asset and liabilities. Let me say your balance sheet, a very simplified balance sheet. And what does the balance sheet, what is the balance sheet showing us? The balance sheet is showing us the financial position of the business. What is the financial position of the business? The financial position of the business means it is showing us how the money for running the business was raised and how it was used. But most importantly, it is also showing us like the health condition. Is it healthy? Is this a healthy business? For example, the relationship between the external sources of finance and the internal sources of finance. Yes. Now, if you go and listen to the news, they will tell you that South Africa, in other words, here we can see the relationship. There are things that we can look at if we look at our own life, at our balance sheet or simplified balance sheet. We can look at the relationship between the money of the owner and the money that is owed to other people. Debt is not a problem, but proper management of debt is important for a country and even a business. Wealthy people, rich people do use debt even when they've got money, but they make debt to work for them, not against them. And there are limits. You have to look at how there must be a healthy relationship between the amount of money that you invest in the business that comes from the business and the one that is coming from external. For example, South Africa, they are saying our debt, we are fast moving into a dangerous territory. Our debt to GDP ratio, the relationship between the money that belongs to the country, the country, the citizens, the government, the state, the own resources of the country, and the money that has been borrowed. We are at 70%. What does it mean? It's unhealthy. And I saw one economist saying that the actual debt is not 70% to GDP. It's actually 90% if you add the debt of state-owned enterprises, because time and again they are being bailed out. So financially, South Africa income is not very healthy. What does it mean? When we say 70%, it's like what? It's like for every rand that South Africa has, 70 cents is debt and 30 cents is our own money. But when we consider the real situation, including the state-owned enterprises like Eskom, which is heavily indebted, and who has to pay for that? The taxpayer, the government. So it's unhealthy because the real debt to GDP ratio is 90%. 90%. What does that mean? It means that for every rand that the South African government is spending, 90 cents is debt and 10 cents comes from the government. It's not a healthy relationship because it means that we are moving into dangerous territory. It's not a healthy situation. Because even yourself, think about yourself. Many of us have worked, have been employees. If you are working, you earn $100 per month. If you are earning $100 per month or 100 rands per month, only to find that your debts that you have to pay on a monthly basis are like 90 rands and you are only left with 10 rands from your salary. Is that a healthy situation? You are earning 1,000 per month and you have got debts that you have to repay on a monthly basis, which are 900 rands per month. You are only left with 100 rands. Is that healthy? It's not. The same thing. When I say in terms of the country debt to GDP, I'm talking about the GDP is like what the country owns, the assets and cash reserves and whatever that the country is producing within the boundaries of South Africa, that belongs to South Africa. It is a problem because you are only owning a small part of what you own. What belongs to you, what really belongs to you is like 10%. It's not healthy. You need a healthy relationship between what you are earning and what you owe. The same, coming back to the business, it's very simple. In a simplistic way, on simplistic terms, the business needs to be careful in terms of how much does it own the resources that it actually owns and what it owes to debtors. Now, if you look at this situation, two things. If you look at the short-term liabilities and the short-term assets, and you look at the long-term assets and long-term liabilities, there is something very interesting there. If you look here, once she buys a mixer, she must stay for 2 years before she buys another mixer. Once she buys an oven, she must stay for 5 years without buying an oven. Land and buildings, she must stay for 20 years before she buys. There can be maintenance here and there. The same here. You don't keep making loan debt on a daily basis. So the point I want to make is that there is very little activity. It's that part of the business that is very little is happening. It's just ticking along. There's not much that is happening. Where is the action? Here is where the action. What is going on here? I want to come this side. Look for your business. You buy stock Say you buy stock or you buy ingredients for making the cakes. After buying the stock, you produce the products, and then you market. You market 1T. You market, you present, you merchandise. You pay, remember, some you sell. And with selling, some businesses sell for cash, some sell on credit. And then there must be collection, debt collection. Yes, if you want to be in a healthy cash flow situation, money comes in, money goes out. If you don't want to run into problems, you must collect, do debt collection on time, so that you don't find yourself in trouble. After collection, you pay for your expenses, and then the cycle goes on. This is what is happening. We are looking at your business as a cycle. So, are you still with us as our resident entrepreneur, startup entrepreneur?
Yes.
Your business is moving. So now tell me, if your business is like a wheel that is turning, would you like your business to move very fast or very slow?
I would like my business to move very fast.
Very fast. Wonderful. Why? Don't be afraid. Remember, there's no right and wrong answer. Whatever the reason, why do you want the cycle to move very fast? It's your business. It's like a wheel. It's turning. You want
to grow it.
Yes, to be able to grow. But I agree with Sue, absolutely. You would like your business to run, your will to go very fast.
To grow my business.
But that was just a trick, because I want us to learn something. You ideally want your business to run fast, not just very fast, and not very slow. Because if it's very fast, it means that you are producing very slowly and you are selling only a little, I mean slow, when it's going very slow. You didn't say, you are not wrong. Your answer is 100% perfect. I tricked you by giving a choice between very slow and very fast. They were supposed to be fast. And I'll tell you why. Very slow, it means that you are selling to 2 or 3 customers a day, 1 customer a day. The business is not doing very well. But when it's going very fast, it means that today, for example, you sold to 20 customers. Tomorrow there's a queue of 200 customers. How are you going to cope with that? Because you need to get money to buy more stock, you need to hire more employees, you need a bigger space. So this is what happens. Some businesses do not die because they are not making money. They die because sometimes they grow very fast. You find the entrepreneur is not well trained, well experienced to run the business, and they get with tenders in South Africa, with tenders. An entrepreneur is just a former politician. They come into the scene, they get a very big tender. They are awarded that tender. That project is massive. Their experience, their know-how is not, and their leadership qualities is not enough to carry the pressures that come with that business. That's what happens. From Limpopo, I can see one road that has just been left like that. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So it's an example of a person who was not prepared to run the business. In your business, sometimes it can happen that a business can grow faster than you are growing. How do you grow? You invest in yourself, you attend these kind of courses to equip you, so that as your business is growing, you are also growing, because your business can outgrow you. That is why some people, when the business has outgrown you, you hire a new person and say, I'm no longer qualified. I'm going to be the chairman, I'm going to sit on the board, I'm hiring a new CEO who's more educated than myself. So part of the problem could be that. So remember, for this business, we talked about money flow. For this business to keep running fast and growing, which Sue said very well.